Hey, what's going on, guys? How are your meatballs? This is my kind of Firebase map and trailer discussion with you guys based off of the trailer that came out just a few days ago. I posted this in my Discord a couple of days ago as well. So I'm going to be reading through the few comments that I got, and I'm going to just talk to you guys, answer some questions and stuff like that. And yeah, so with that being said, do make sure if you are excited for Firebase to drop a like on this video, as well as make sure you are subscribed to the channel for the absolute most elite guides on the YouTubes. As always, did it with the machine, and they're going to continually get better with every single DLC release, which is going to be hard to continually do, but we are going to do it. Again, make sure you stick around for a ton of fun, awesome guides, and follow over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Jomet123. Stream zombies there every single day. But yeah, on Discord again, I stated, be featured in the next video. Comment one pro and one con about the Firebase trailer and explain your reasoning for both. All fitting comments will be featured. Love ya, meatball. Try replying to the message instead of typing your response if you can, and fit it all into one message. And that now brings us to our first message. So the first message up here comes from Jace Grind. He says, the new mini boss can transform into anything, which means that he can appear from anywhere at any time, and I love that. Add some excitement to the game, and because he can become a rifle, maybe you can pull him from the mystery box and a big jump scare. Con, I just really hope there isn't something or some super OP camping spot like the Machina. I want this map to actually be difficult. Okay, so my comments about this, I completely agree with you on the pro. I think this is awesome. This is one of the first times, I believe the first time, that a boss is actually able to morph like this. He can literally turn into blue salvage on the floor, or start as blue salvage on the floor, and morph into the actual boss on the map, which can literally grab you in, slap you, and that's really awesome to me. That's an awesome dynamic that definitely throws a little curve in the zombies fabric that we're not used to, and that's awesome. That's new, it's different, it's really cool. Next, so and I'm cool with that. The con, I agree but disagree with you with, right? So I agree, I don't personally want an overpowered spot and kind of high roundish thing like the Machina with the ray gun. The ray gun is a very powerful weapon in the game, and overall the ammo crates in the game tend to not make Cold War zombies in terms of going for high rounds all that challenging if you know what you're doing. So if you're using the ray gun, you just keep buying back ammo and you're good. And presumably, no matter what map we're on, unless they do a really good job at patching up camping spots, that theme is going to continue. So my solution to that would be to just simply patch up us being able to buy ammo for the wonder weapons at all from the ammo crates, and that across the board would immediately make every single map more difficult. And I think that having OP spots like Nocturne Totem, like the roof of Nocturne Totem in the Machina, and like any other campable spot in future maps, Firebase in this instance, right? I think those are actually good. I look at a map like Revelations. A lot of people go for high rounds Revelations because they're fun. Sure, they may get boring at a point, but they're very quick, and they could be considered fun from round 0 to 100, right? Just imagine we have a really fun, really powerful, better than the ray gun wonder weapon in DLC 1. I'm sure a lot of us are not going to only use it for the Easter egg, but are going to want to use it for high rounds, and to be able to camp out and not allowed to buy ammo for it. I think that would be nice and fitting. Although that's how it's always been, I think what Cold War zombies did when ammo boxes with wonder weapons is a little too overpowered and a little bit too far. I know there's a balance there because there's no gobblegums, but I still think overall it's way too powerful, and I see a lot of people complaining about it, and I definitely don't disagree with that at all. Although I love Cold War zombies based mechanics, that is definitely an issue to date, that the wonder weapons, you can buy ammo for them, at least for the ray gun right now and the DIE, right? Moving on, we have Dave. He says, pro, the idea of the map being separated by the portal, the idea of the map being separated by the portal because it is really creative. Oh, okay, so he's saying that's a pro. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I agree. They even today, so these comments were screenshotted a little bit ago, right? But today they actually released kind of like a video showing our first set of gameplay and stuff like that, and they had even specifically mentioned the map Moon. And you may be asking yourself, what the hell does Firebase have to do with Moon? Well, storyline wise, absolutely nothing, but in terms of that mechanic, they specifically pointed out Moon, that you start in a given area in Moon, and then you teleport to another side through that teleporter. So it's not even as much as we're gonna stay on one side, we're gonna do some stuff, and then we're gonna go to the next side, kind of like Ancient Evil, right? That it's really split up into two maps. Kind of how they're framing it is that it's gonna be more so Moon based, and who knows, maybe the rounds don't even start ticking until we actually get to the other side of the map. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like that. They didn't specifically mention that it would be like that, but they had pointed out Moon. I think Ancient Evil actually would be another good example now that I'm kind of thinking about it, but they did specifically point out Moon just for the fact that there's a teleporter there. You spawn on one side, but you're able to take a teleporter to another side. I definitely think that that's really cool, and it definitely adds to the zombies experience, because a lot of people, including myself, are tired of running around the Machina just because it's so small. They definitely did a good job at making it feel like it has a lot of depth, and it does, but you know, still small. Anyways, Dave says for the con, they aren't being very dark in the way, they aren't being very dark in the way the map looks for a game about undead killing people. I'm sorry, by the way, I'm reading it. It's kind of weird because the text is really small on my screen. But anyways, he says, this is bad because we haven't had a dark map in a long time and bright maps are getting really old-fashioned. And I agree but disagree with this. So you guys already know my position if you watch my videos. I personally believe that dark maps, for the most part, are a pretty solid way to go. But at the same time, it's not necessary. Take a look at a map like Drak. Drak isn't a nighttime map per se. Its setting is really done right. Like, it's not really daytime, but it's like a darker blue. I know the moon's out and stuff like that, and they don't emphasize the bright sun at all, but that's my point. It's not blackout in the sky. It's kind of a bluish, and it fits the Drak perfectly. And if you think of a map like Alpha Omega, a lot of people don't like that map, but now going into a map that really is daytime focused, or even Tagged or Toten, right? They really did a good job at kind of nailing how they wanted the sun to reflect on the map in those maps. And then you go over to Die Maschine, right? And it's just white and bright, and it's disgusting. It looks like a multiplayer map. And for zombies, it just doesn't fit. And again, my main point is that within a zombies map, the lighting has to look right. It has to look like a zombie apocalypse in some way, shape, or form. That's why I always say, let's have a dust map. Sure, we have our nighttime maps, we have our darker daytime maps like Drak, and we had some instances in the past where bright daytime maps, even think of Attack of the Radioactive Thing for that matter, right? Where they can actually make it work and kind of fit well with the theme of the map and the setting and stuff like that. But I think for Die Maschine, they completely missed, and in terms of the atmosphere, it seems like that they're getting better, despite what Dave said, and actually through the gameplay today and through some other stuff that we've seen, it actually seems like that the setting looks a lot better. At least from Die Maschine, they made a significant improvement in the overall atmosphere of the zombies maps, which is really good and a step in a very good direction. But Dave, I definitely don't disagree with you. Let's move on to the next comment. So Mr. Noob Plays Multiplayer, it's Country, he says, Pro, it's finally a new map, not using old stuff. By that, I mean things like Knocked. And this is something that a lot of people were begging for. A brand new zombies map for the first time ever. And I just want to go out on record and say this. If you are somebody complaining that the map, okay, I should also go and say this. This map is actually not entirely brand new in terms of ever seeing it before. Part of the map is from the campaign. I believe that's the area we spawn in. Then the other part is some part of Blackout, right? Some part of Blackout, but it's obviously not a direct copy and paste, and it's been zombified. So although the areas may look familiar to people who played each and every single one of those modes and dedicated time to them and definitely know the layouts of those areas, they will definitely recognize some of the areas. They are still entirely brand new areas because they've been zombified. Some stuff has been modified for zombies. And by zombified, I just mean that it looks beaten down. The textures are different, a little bit different, stuff like that, right? And then some areas were expanded upon, closed off, and stuff like that. And then how about this? They have never been used in zombies before. Go to a game like Call of Duty World at War. I know that's an older game, and you can say, oh, they did it for a reason. But no, go to a game like Call of Duty World at War and tell me there's no reused assets in that. How about this? Some of the maps are almost direct copies and paste from multiplayer or the campaign. Shit like this happens all the time, and this is the reason why Zombies was born, and I am happy that they are reusing assets. Do I necessarily want remakes a remake every single DLC? Absolutely not. I'm in the boat as pretty much all of us, right? I do want a new Zombies map, but I think people get a little too far out there that if they see a remake, they go insane. And then on that note, even with this, where Treyarch gave us a brand new Zombies map, never before seen areas in Zombies, people still had the balls to complain about the map. And that really is a testament to how negative people are and how stupid people are, because they have absolutely no, I don't even want to get into it. They're just stupid. That's really it. The Zombies map, Firebase coming out on February 4th, is a brand new map to Zombies, period, end of story. If you disagree, you are wrong, and I guess you just don't really like Zombies, because, I mean, again, if you look at the track record of Zombies, that's how the mode was born, that's how the mode has always been, and again, overall, not only have some areas, but also assets have always been shared between the modes. That's just the way, again, that's the way it always has been and will continue to be for the good. It's called optimization. They are optimizing their resources. They're using them in all the modes. Anyways, Country goes on to say, and I completely agree, by the way, Country, this isn't pointing at you at all. I was just going out on a tangent about some people I saw on Twitter complaining about the map. But yes, I completely agree with you. Happy that it's a brand new Zombies map, not only for, the sake of it being a new Zombies map, but to shut other people up who didn't want remakes. And again, I agree with them, but I'm just saying. Moving on, his con is, it's hard to really place any cons at the moment from a trailer only meant to show good things, and that's definitely true. I agree with that 100%. There's not too much bad you can take away, right? Because the whole point is to market the DLC DLC, although it's obviously free. If people don't have the game and they're like, oh shit, this zombies map is cool, maybe they'll buy the game. On that note, definitely agree. Let's move on. Clarky says pro equals I like how the map looks. It looks so interesting, set in Vietnam setting along with the dark ether portals and such. Sure. And then the con, there really isn't much to say for cons, to be honest. And again, I pretty much agree. Just like all these comments, there's really not so much we could really say, just because, hey, there's not much bad they can show in a trailer. Next, Frozen says a pro, the map is bigger than expected. Con, map, there is none. Okay, so I mean, yeah, we're really driving on the theme of no cons now, which of course when the map comes out, there's no way that it's going to be the perfect zombies map. Not even a map like the Eisendrache or Origins, despite them being loved by the community, including myself. There's not been a perfect zombies map, and we don't know if we'll ever see a perfect zombies map. Just like I don't believe we've ever seen a 10 out of 10. We just don't know what that 10 out of 10 will be, because at any point in the future, they can release a map better than a map we already have. And on a scale out of 10, if it can't go above 10, then that map previously that you scaled to 10 can't be a 10. You know what I mean? So we don't know if we've ever seen a 10 before. But anyways, I'm going on a tangent again. Frozen says again, a pro is that the map is bigger than expected, which is 100% true. I personally thought when I first saw the map layout and the outline that it was going to be a very small map, but now it's starting to look that it actually is a pretty decently sized map. There's a lot of areas you can go in between. You can teleport from two different sides of a map, and I definitely like the direction it's going in. I think it's going to be a pretty decent sized map. I don't think it's going to be an Origin sized map, but I think it's going to be a pretty decent sized map. Hopefully there's some decent training areas. Hopefully the camping is reasonable and not extremely overpowered. And yeah, I mean, I'm definitely liking the way things are looking for sure. And we have two more comments here. The next one is from Hyfe. Sorry. He says, pro is I love the map and setting, the backstory behind it, and the return of Samantha. For sure, man, for sure. They're starting to involve Samantha a little bit more in the direct gameplay and the direct visuals. And I mean, not that they haven't already. They definitely showed that in the D Machina intro, but I think you know what I mean. They're definitely starting to keep, they're going to continually emphasize Samantha. And I feel like they're bringing her closer and closer to the gameplay. That, you know, on that note, the whole goal of the map is to kind of save Samantha. So that's kind of what I mean by that. But anyways, he says the con is that it doesn't capture the creepiness of the zombies formula being a brightly lit map. Okay, so we talked about this. And also the fact that it still uses Cold War operators takes away from the story. Doesn't feel like there's a constant cast of characters we get to know. Okay, so I agree and disagree with this. So the thing I agree with is the characters. You guys already know my stance on this. We talked about this in my Cold War Zombies video, featuring some comments for you guys as well. I think the playable characters is definitely a mini issue in Cold War Zombies. And the easiest solution ever would to literally just be to allow for the World War II character system. Allow us to unlock and buy operators, right? Just like we already are able to, but also give us storyline operators that'll give us more storyline. Like when we play in them with them in the map, they give us more storyline information. They give us Easter egg hints. They give us all that stuff that and quotes that the typical characters usually already did in previous zombies maps, like the Eisendrache, Zetsubo, right? Go Rod. Think of those maps. The characters all give you dialogue, and it definitely made the experience even better. And I really think the best example of this is Dead of the Night. I love Dead of the Night, and part of it, really the main reason, is because of the characters. I know some people find them annoying, but hey, if it can make a zombies map for some, it can also ruin a zombies map for some. So regardless of what side of the coin you're on, I think we can kind of both agree that characters do make a difference in a zombies map. So I definitely hope that operators, storyline operators, do come into zombies at some point in time to give us more storyline inside. And I do believe that we're going to have a decent amount of DLC in this game. And so we have time for that to happen. So I have to wait and see, but I do agree with you on the operators. I really hope there are storyline based operators for a better fit, because something is a little bit off when you're playing and you don't hear any character quotes. There's just something missing there. Is it the biggest deal ever? No, but it's definitely something that it's just weird to not have. Next, in terms of the brightly lit map, again, I disagree. That's what I was a little skeptical of at first when I saw it was a daytime map, but after seeing again that it's more of a dusk map, which is better fitting towards zombies, and after seeing some gameplay, I definitely do think that it could be darker for sure, but I do think that they have gone in the right direction again from D Machina, which was completely bright and white and gross. That looked like a multiplayer map, right? It looks more so almost like they're kind of shifting over towards a Tagder and Toten kind of vibe, and kind of trying to go more so down that route, where it's still definitely a daytime map, but it looks more fitting for zombies and it's still beautiful. So I like the way that they're going with the actual aura of the map, the whole vibe in the map. I definitely don't think that it's as bad as you think it is right now. Again, these comments were a few days ago before we saw the latest gameplay, so it was hard to judge from the trailer we had received. But yeah, in terms of the map and the setting, definitely agree. Hell yeah. And the final comment up here is from Mr. Fluffy. How are your meatballs? He says, I think the fact that they are expanding the map while providing movement options like the jump pads are great. Yeah, I I forgot about this, but it seems from the trailer that the Dark Ether isn't going to be in the game. Whether that is true is up in the air, but we'll have to, yeah. So I think that we are going to have some Dark Ether mode, right? We've even seen portions of the trailer where the whole map was surrounded by kind of Dark Ether energy. Now, I'm not sure if that's how the map is going to be by default, and that was only visible because of the jump pads, but I'm assuming that there would be some kind of Dark Ether mode of some sort, unless somehow the real world gets enmeshed with the Dark Ether, and that's how they start to play it off, and then they can start bringing older stuff. I don't know. I don't want to get down this rabbit hole, but I agree with you. We don't, I don't know if we have Dark Ether back, really. I really don't know if we do know, but I would assume that it would come back. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But I definitely am excited to see what the map looks like in Dark Ether, if there is a Dark Ether mode, and for sure, the jump pads are awesome. I think we're gonna all definitely enjoy those. I don't think you're gonna find anybody who hates the jump pads from DE. They're kind of indirectly throwing a little bit of a nostalgic, I can't even say that's a nostalgic thing, the jump pads. It's just a cool mechanic in Zombies that they bring in intermittently, and I think it's a nice little touch and fitting for this map. But yeah, definitely agree and disagree with a few of the points you guys brought up, and I expressed that, and I respect all your guys' thoughts, and hopefully you respect mine. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, I can't even speak, concerns, leave them down below in the comment section. It was a lot of fun reading some of these comments, talking to you guys, laid back. This is why I was happy that there was only about 7 or 8 comments, because we can just sit back and talk and really go in depth on each and every single comment, right? But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Appreciate you coming out. Take care of your meatball, my friend. Make sure to subscribe. Peace.
I've been wishing for some better days.